hey! Seems you caught me checking out a parallel quest. But it's not just any PQ though. It's asking to keep an ally's health above a certain percentage. This is what can be considered an escort quest, whose primary mission is to just complete it while protecting an ally. But as a lot of players can vouch, that's easier said than done due to how exactly those allies in question behave. So in this video, we'll tell you some things you might want to know about the AI so that you can grind for these rewards or help other players complete these kinds of quests smoothly. What's important to know about AI in general is that they initially target based on whoever is within their range first. That means if you're in front of your team when an enemy shows up, they'll target you first if you aren't too close to where they spawn to begin with. They'll periodically do a reset of sorts where they'll retarget every so often. And if they lock off of you, that was because someone else was closer in their range than you at that time. You'll also want to keep an eye on where your ally actually is during battle. Leaving them unattended generally results in them taking ultimate attacks to the face, and they aren't always at a high enough AI level to interrupt them on their own, so you have to babysit. Yes, babysit your ally. This generally means switching off of whoever you are going to fight in order to make sure they aren't up against a threatening character.
Characters who happen to be threats to PQ allies are mainly the ones whose ultimate attacks can't be blocked, like DBS Broly's gigantic roar. Since it deals all of its damage in a single hit, you can't allow such a character to use an ultimate anywhere near your ally, or else you're all but certain to fall below their health percentage threshold. And once that happens, you cannot recover the win condition even if you healed them afterward. What you see here reminds me of another tidbit. If you and your allies are outnumbered, such as our duo against the 3 that came in, AI enemies you are not already fighting will not attack you until your chosen opponent locks off of you, even if that happens via being knocked out, to which they will immediately attack.
That also means that if you're not outnumbered, you're going to get jumped if one or more of your allies aren't being active about fighting others locked onto you. That means that trying to sit back and charge up to spam ultimates will probably result in your human teammate or quest teammate getting hit by several attacks at once and being knocked out. So even if it might seem like a cool idea to attack one opponent together, you probably shouldn't risk that knowing you have a teammate that the quest depends on. Otherwise, you'll be an L babysitter. By the way, if during any of those quests you see a group of time patrollers waiting,
do not prompt them, especially when online, as they have the same moveset as the players they are based on, and will therefore be very likely to have more than several ways to end your escort's career.
Towa's Energy Zone is a popular ultimate skill to bring on these quests, but there's an ordinary skill that can heal allies too, present for you. You learn it by training with Hercule, and if a teammate touches the boxes, they can either be healed or damaged. If the box has circles on it, they'll heal. If they have diamonds, Child Protective Services should be called on you if you let them touch that.
Fight! That's the wrong number!
One useful way to babysit a character is to bring the dual ultimate of whoever the escort is. In this case, it's DBS Broly. So I often bring dual gigantic roar with me if I find someone dealing with this quest. As long as the character you're protecting is the original user of the move, they'll join the attack, and during it you'll both be invincible until the attack finishes, with no way to interrupt it once you two connect. The idea is to have the escort join it, while other teammates fight other enemies. Your escort will automatically be locked onto the enemy you both hit too, so it's extra insurance for you to be able to see them close. Because of how sensitive these quests are, you don't have the luxury of time. You should generally try to wipe enemies as quickly and effectively as possible before they can do too much damage to your escort, even if it's cheese you bring. Crush Cannon can be charged and carried throughout a quest to be thrown at an enemy who might otherwise be troubled, to deal tremendous damage quickly. Videl, Pan, and Hercule can all be customized to have the Hercule Super Soul, which boosts the attack power of all allies by 5% each time a teammate KOs an enemy. With inescapable attacks like dual ultimates or Dragon Fist, you can constantly ensure that you keep powering up throughout the quest, which helps to finish enemies quickly. AI teammates will also use skills or ultimates when you do, something observable in enemy AI as well, though in the case of enemies, it's mostly going to be ultimates. You can see my teammates use their skills the instant I use mine. Key blast skills are generally the most useful in these scenarios since AI often fire them accurately.
Enemies who spawn into battle often do so with maxed out ki. So a good rule of thumb is that if the enemy has enough ki to use an ultimate, they're most likely going to use it. This is easily observed when they aren't currently being attacked or attacking, such as recovering from having been attacked or no longer being stunned by a hit. Enemies also appear to be guaranteed to block if you just guard them, meaning that the majority of the time a charged heavy attack will break them and make clearing them out all the easier. You have to be quick about it though, or else what they'll likely do is just guard you back and pummel you.
So to wrap this up, here's a summarized list of enemies and PQs you should watch out for when doing these kinds of quests. We've been talking for a good while now, and we've got more to do after this video, so I'll try and keep it brief and simple. DBS Broly has been mentioned before. Due to Gigantic Roar's quick startup, large range, high damage, and inability to be blocked, Mr. Satan is in immediate danger due to forcing the entire team to lock onto him, which could cause attacks like a Gigantic Roar to catch the entire team for attacking him. UI Goku is often powered up in PQs, not even needing any skills to wipe health bars. Blue Goku has his warp version of his ultimate that AI teammates are extremely unlikely to be able to track to defend themselves. Golden Frieza's Emperor's Death Beam is notorious for a reason, chewing through health bars like candy on top of having a quick startup. Whis has Symphonic Destruction, sweeping a wide range and easily catching multiple of you at once. Boo has Cookie Beam, fast to start up and guaranteeing an inescapable attack if not evaded. And he also has Candy Beam to turn you into candy, and then fire a full power energy wave that can hit allies instead of you since you'd be invincible. Piccolo, 18, and Krillin all have hard-hitting, unblockable ultimates, and Nova Shenron's Burning Spin is nigh unavoidable when it's an AI using it.
It's worth keeping in mind that these enemies won't always appear in PQs, but as far as we're concerned, they're the main ones that appear in the harder escort quests for the most part. This is therefore based solely on the threat they pose to your dependent ally, and not based on threat overall, as we can just have someone else cover that one in a future video. Here you've witnessed that even the most difficult of PQs are entirely doable offline and online both, so hopefully this helps you along as you play for yourself.
And with that said, remember, don't get yourself stuck because of tunnel vision. Keep an eye on your allies' health bar and who they're fighting against. If you do that much, you'll do just fine. Now we gotta get moving. Originally, this video would have been around 5 to 6 minutes, but there's always something else that comes with info on the game, and accounting for every single detail takes mad effort.
We don't even plan these out beyond just deciding on a topic to explore, but we do intend to reveal what we can about what we know. It is the main purpose of this channel after all,